If I had to network with the ultra-rich all over again, one of the top things that I would do is to walk straight into the art world. Because multi-millionaires and billionaires don't gather at marketing events, they gather at auctions, art dinners, and private previews. And if you can read the room and know art as a social currency, then your next high-level investor, luxury partner, or high-value friendship becomes inevitable. Hi, I'm Vanessa, former ultra-high net worth private banker at Goldman Sachs and UBS. Over the past decade, I've managed 8-figure portfolios, been hosted at private galleries in Paris, and observed brokered art-backed deals in rooms most people don't know. In ultra-high net worth circles, art isn't just decoration. Sure, it could be an asset class, but most importantly, it's a social currency. One of trust, of taste, and legacy. So stay till the end because I will be sharing with you my secrets to use art as a social currency to socialize in elite circles. Let's get started. The first question that you might ask is, why does the rich use art as a way to build power? And art is actually a universal language of the ultra wealthy because it does 3 things that no bank account can do. Firstly, it signals legacy. Old money families collect art like the Rothkos. They don't collect Lambos. I briefly mentioned about this in one of my previous videos, how to get access into old money and new money, so catch that if you haven't and I'll put the link below. And art is an asset class that lives for generations. It's timeless and so is the ultimate family asset. And the second thing that it does that no bank account can do is that it shields privacy. If you remember in my old money science video, I actually spoke about how the ultra-rich, especially old money families, love discretion and privacy. So art is one of the ways where they can shield their privacy. And unlike real estate or shares, fine art can be held quietly. Private collections, offshore storage, and of course, no Forbes list entry. And thirdly, it grants access. The right painting in your home could mean an invitation to a private museum event. An example would be the Glenstone Museum in DC is not just any museum, it's a Rothschild level Rolodex. So what are the 4 art world vehicles that create access? Firstly, we have the art fairs like Art Basel, Praise London, which I've mentioned before, and the Armory Show. And some of the ultra high net worth individuals, they even fly private for these events. It's where dynasty meets art. And here's an elite social cue. You don't want to ask how much is this, but you want to ask something like, what's the most emotionally resonant piece that you've seen today? Because art, end of the day, is a creative expression of emotions and you want to connect with them through emotions instead of the price tag of the art. So you want to see how a certain piece actually invoke a certain memory or a certain sentiment for them. And that's why it's perceived as high value to them because that's subjective. Different peoples have different memories and emotions that's attached to different kinds of art. And the second art world vehicle that gives you access is gallery openings and private viewings. High net worth advisors, luxury brands, and art collectors all converge here. And here are some names to watch, like Gagosian, David Zwirner, and Hauser and Worth. You want to comment on the curation or the medium, not the price. Like this reminds me of a mid-century Cuban abstraction. And the third vehicle is foundations and patron circles. This could be like the Guggenheim International Gala, the Met's Costume Institute, and the Serpentine Gallery Council. These dinners are where next-gen billionaires meet private deal makers. Over here, the gatekeepers are usually the curators, the foundation director, or the assistants, and you want to build trust with them. And the fourth and last vehicle is artist estates and auctions, like the Sotheby's, Christie's, and Phillips. The evening sales are where you see a theater of wealth, but the real networking actually happens at the previews. And here are 3 insights from ultra high net worth art collectors. The CEO of LVMH, Bernard Arnault, collects Basquiat, Rothkos, and support Fondation Louis Vuitton. The insight here is luxury magnets collect both contemporary and vintage pieces. They blend boldness with heritage. And the second is Musea Prada, who is the collector and founder of Fondazione Prada. Her network includes intellectuals, royals, and financiers, and the insight here is cultural curation earns status. Thirdly is Francois Pinault from Kering, which is the umbrella brand that owns Gucci and YSL. Do you know that Francois actually built the Pinault collection across palazzos in Venice? This underlines that placement matters. Art is not just about the piece, it's about where and who sees it. How do you build an art identity? You don't need an art historian to enter these rooms. You just need calibrated curiosity. Here's how to start. Follow elite galleries and artists on Instagram or any other forms of social media that you might like. It could be on Hauser and Wirth, like I just mentioned, or Pace. Then you want to learn the language. Watch Sotheby's evening sale previews and note terms like emotive abstraction or provenance. 10 local exhibitions. Practice asking questions with emotional language. And also, you want to build your own personal point of view on art. Like, are you drawn to the rebellious 1980s art? The quiet 19th century portraiture? Because visual storytelling matters more than pedigree. And lastly, as promised, how to socialize in the elite circles with art. Subconsciously, they reward observation, where ultra-rich clients watch how you observe a piece, how long you look at it, and what you say about it, and how you speak. Secondly, talk emotions, not economics. Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? What era does it remind you of? Thirdly, dress the room, don't dominate it. This could mean wearing soft cashmere, navy, bespoke loafers for men. And it could also mean no logos and vintage jewelry for women. Here's a conversation starter. You could ask, do you collect mostly contemporary or historical pieces? What's the last piece that made you feel something unexpected? Did you see an X piece at an X fair last month? What was your take on the curation? Lastly, if you would like to dive in deeper on how to build elite social capital from scratch, then I recommend you to check out Elevating Circles, which I'll put the link down below, because social capital is the most valuable asset that you could ever own. In Elevating Circles, I teach you all the strategies and unspoken codes that I used as a private banker to enter ultra-high net worth elite circles and build high-value connections. When you master these codes, your next high net worth client or luxury partner becomes inevitable. Now, if you thought art was high level, wait till you see what happens in the wine rooms. In my next video, I'll show you exactly how to network with the ultra wealthy through wine, even if you don't drink a single drop. So like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.